Afternoon, everyone. How are you doing? So I just read an article that highlights the sheer velocity of the movement out of New York and California. This article was focused on New York and specifically New Hampshire. To be clear, I have no experience in New Hampshire, but I certainly understand, given the amount of people I see leaving California, that this is going to be real. And the article headline was kind of funny. The last one out of New York, in this case, turn out the lights. The governor of New Hampshire, again, their motto is live free or die, is talking about how their economy, their real estate market is booming. They are talking about going to battle for their citizens because in the past, New York, given its might, has been able to tax commuters who lived in other states that commuted to New York. They were able to tax them at New York rates. What I learned in this article is that up to 20%, 20% of state tax revenue was collected from commuters. Now, not all of those commuters were coming from New Hampshire, but what this governor, Chris Sununu, I probably mispronounced that poorly or badly, but basically what he is telling residents is they are ready to fight. They are saying that, these residents live in New Hampshire and now they are no longer commuting, they are telecommuting. So you cannot tax New Hampshire residents New York rates when they never reside in New York. And New York is obviously going to battle this. They are stuck with a huge budget deficit. And New Hampshire has a proven history of fighting for their residents. So I expect this battle to continue. I expect New York and California to try and stick it to former residents. And it's going to be up to the states and the employers to really have this out. Again, New York, 20% of their former tax revenue was from commuters. Those commuters, for the most part, are not commuting to New York anymore. And at least in the case of New Hampshire, they're saying they are going to battle that, and that's up to 5%. So this is real significant revenue. The other thing is the governor is really throwing shade at New York, Cuomo, and more specifically the mayor of New York, claiming he has done a terrible job and he has no idea what he is doing. Residents are telling him they're not only fleeing because of higher taxes in New York, but because of safety and concerns for their welfare. So again, in this example, people are going to New Hampshire. They're making their own family choices. This is going on. It is going on at a rate that I cannot imagine. And we have only begun to see the lengths that both New York and California are going to go through. They're going to have to operate on much smaller budgets. They have made very poor financial decisions, and it has come home. This health crisis has accelerated so many things. They've accelerated work from home. They've accelerated the exit from cities. And this has accelerated poor choices. And California and New York, unfortunately, are going to face some significant budget shortfalls. States, unlike the Fed, have a balanced budget mandate. And thus, as a California resident, we are going to see some increases. So I thought this was interesting. Again, the governor of New Hampshire basically marketing to New York residents, come here, we will fight for you. That's just more and more evidence that this remote work is real. The exit as renters from New York to owners in New Hampshire is real. Again, their real estate market is booming. Stuff is lasting less than 24 hours, multiple offers. And again, rent in New York, shoebox, live in New Hampshire, house, space, backyard, all good things. And what happens? New Hampshire is booming, New York is suffering, tax base will go down. And if they can keep the 20% or at least most of that from going to New York, as legacy commuters no longer commute, that's just another hit. And of course, you have Cuomo begging for billionaires to come back. Nope, not with the billionaire tax being floated by AOC and the like. So I think New York and California need to realize that their future is very dim and needs to start buckling up now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next fiscal year. So in the end, I want to give a shout out to the governor of New Hampshire. Nice job taking care of your state. You are marketing to individuals in New York who are ready to go, and standing up for them, fighting the big bad New York is great and good for you. All right, everybody, if you're in New Hampshire and you used to live in New York, I'd love to hear from you. Leave some comments below. I'd love to connect and maybe interview you about your experience in New Hampshire after leaving New York. That would be kind of cool. Thanks.